This is Before the Pitch for You Can Love New York Baseball. I'm our What Shade of Blue You Are Wearing. And recently, I really wanted to go back and play some of my favorite baseball video games. And specifically, my absolute favorite one. I'll reveal what it is in a sec, but I really wanted to share it with you. This is actually the game that I started playing that really got me into baseball. It's kind of how old this game is. And I did play Little League before this, but this game came out, and me and all the neighborhood friends, we all got it, and it just absolutely blew up, and we played this game so much. It might not be one of the ones you were thinking. I'll reveal what it is in a minute. But one of the things I really liked about this game is I remember the music being very good, and I hope you guys agree when you hear it. It's very unique, and I'll point out exactly what it is. There's also a really cool thing they do with the camera in this that I have not seen since or before, actually. And again, I won't spoil what that is, but I'm going to show you guys when it comes up here. It's really cool, really unique, and I'll tell you exactly why I love it so much, because I do think that's the one feature of the game that really makes it so much fun to play in my eyes. We're going to be playing this on Nintendo GameCube. And I find that not many people have an orange GameCube controller, which is pretty cool. So I take a lot of pride in my orange GameCube controller. So without further ado, we do not have an emulator to do this, so the camera's going to be filmed on the screen. So we're going to see how well this plays out. I don't have an emulator to just do the whole thing. So we're going to make do with what we got. This is Home Run King. Yeah, so there's a lot more that comes after that. But it's mostly the same thing. I love it so much because it's like rock, but yet it uses the organ music, which we actually covered in an episode why the organ is used in Major League Baseball. But I think that's such a clever use of the organ and rock music, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's very reminiscent of not only just like my childhood of growing up and watching baseball, but just baseball in general. That's why I really like it. It's a simulated game. This is back in the day where if we would leave it up for too long, it goes to a simulated game. Yeah, it's Jeff Bagwell, who's the loading screen and on the cover. Again, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's it's rock music with the organ. It's a little bit different than the intro, but it's so good. Yeah, so the first game I'm going to play is the Yankees versus the Devil Rays at the beautiful Yankee Stadium, which is no longer standing. Yeah, I specifically chose Tampa because I wanted to see these ugly green uniforms again. In hindsight, they're not as bad as I remember them being. Still nowhere near my favorite. And Tampa Bay's best stuff was the late 90s. This game came out in 2001. Oh, God, look at those people. I have Pettit pitching. I skipped over Roger Clemens. So something you're going to notice about this game that I really love is, well, actually before that, you're going to notice the camera is actually a little bit sideways. You actually have to go to camera angle. There's 3 different angles, and 2 of them are off center, and I don't really know why, and I don't know who ever wanted to play like that. So I always move it to front. Never really figured out how to throw different pitches in this. Maybe I could figure out today. So what you just saw is a little bit of that thing that I was alluding to when I said it's a feature that not a lot of other games have. Oh, jeez. that not a lot of other games have. And it's the way that the camera follows the ball. So usually the camera focuses on a still shot in the field. But if you see right now, the camera's following the ball. Where the ball goes, the camera goes. So the ball always stays in screen. So the harder you hit the ball, the faster the camera is going to travel to catch up to it. And the higher you go, the higher the camera will go to always keep the ball in view. And the camera's always moving. You're going to notice that. There's a lot of camera movement in this that makes this game feel very, very lively. You're always moving. It's always exciting. There's always a cool angle. Jamie's going to catch 2 in a row. Also, I want you to notice the detail in this batting stance. Look how much movement's in there. That's a lot. Remember, this is 2001. This looks fantastic for 2001. And even back then, we thought it looked really, really good. Again, you see how the camera's following the ball. That's awesome. Yeah, me and my friends around the neighborhood used to get together and play this all the time back in elementary school. And even today, I still think there's a lot of things about that hold up. Again, look at how much, just hold on that batting stance. Look how much movement there is. And like, even the legs have a lot of movement. The hands have movement. And everyone still has a different batting stance. There's a couple of generic ones that kind of some other people get. But all the people with like the weird signature batting stances, you do see them. Later, I'll show you Alex Rodriguez. You can see his stance is taken. Derek Jeter's leading off, so I believe so. You're going to see his stance and why his is unique and still very accurate. They take the time to watch him get in the box, and he does his little thing. Look, that is Derek Jeter's batting stance. And that's really awesome for 2001. And of course, like Jeter puts an opposite way hit. Can I get to 2? Yeah, let's try to get to 2. He gets in there, cool. A very Derek Jeter-esque kind of hit, which is awesome. A lot of detail in this game. But yeah, you see the camera follows the ball. The harder you hit the ball, the faster the camera goes. The same as how high you go. Let's see if I can hit a home run. You can really see what it feels like when you really get a piece of one. Ooh, another hard line drive. See, the camera's going fast. It makes the game feel fun. You're not just sitting there waiting. Stuff moves. The camera, it shifts when it gets to the cutoff, man. Again, it's just another element of really cool camera work that's in this game, which is something I think really sets it apart, something that I really like about it. So if I could think of 2 things I love about this, or 3 things that I love about this game as a whole, it's the attention to detail, at least for 2001, the awesome camera work, and the music. Between those 3 things, I think it's so much alike in this game. In many ways, I still consider this game quite ahead of its time compared to other 2001 games. Look how much better it looks compared to other games from that time. So you can't just move one batter, which kind of drives me nuts. Got it. Yeah, what I was trying to move Rondell over to second base, but I couldn't do that without sending the other guy. So I wound up getting the guy out, and he stays over there. Well, again, look at Robin Ventura's stance. So much motion going on. It looks real. These look like real people in real batting stances. And a lot of these guys are different. Great shot at Monument Park. Look at the detail on Monument Park, too. Again, this is 2001 we're talking about. What a home! Look at Monument Park. Beautiful shot of Monument Park. Here's the animations they do, and it was a grand slam too. What they do is they set out the fireworks, which is awesome. Now the cool part is, if you hit a home run at a different part of the ballpark, they'll shoot the fireworks off wherever you hit the ball, so that could always change. Wow, yeah, really cool animations that they do. Yeah, so for this next game, we're playing at Shea Stadium. I really wanted to show what Shea Stadium looks like. Again, there's a level of detail in here. I'm going to show you what it is. I specifically chose to play against the Astros. One, because this is a uniform that I used to like quite a bit. And I kind of miss seeing that. Look at that; those are cool. I know some people don't like them, but yeah, I specifically chose the Astros to give a shout out to our buddy James Christopher at the Let's Get To podcast, which me and Billy actually do make some guest appearances on about once a month. James makes fantastic content, and not only is he a podcast, he also has a YouTube channel, so you can actually see him. Fantastic content. I really think he deserves a shout out, especially since this is back when the Astros were in the National League. Um, for those boomers who remember that. And there's our cover boy. His batting stance looked like he was on the toilet. That was another batting stance who's the copy in the league. Are there any batting stances that kids copy now? I can't think of it because not many are very unique. Like back in the day between Jeff Bagwell and Gary Sheffield, everyone used to imitate those. And A-Rod. I think those are probably like the three most commonly mimicked batting stances in Little League, in my opinion. Let's try to see that apple. Oh, by the way, bring these black Mets uniforms back. I dude, the black Mets uniform is like that. That is, I guess a lot of older people don't like them. Um, I don't know why. Billy has a theory. It's because like it's a departure. While the Mets have never used black up until then. Um, but I am a '90s kid. The black Mets jersey is the ultimate Mets jersey, in my opinion. And it's mean. It's mean looking. It looks like Mike Piazza. Mike Piazza's a mean looking guy, and it's a mean looking jersey too. Another thing that I forgot to mention that I really like about this game is you notice there's no hot and cold zones. When you're batting, you actually have to move the cursor. So not only are you waiting for timing, but you also have to move a little bit. So you're doing two things at once. You have to move your cursor to have some coordination, and you have to get your timing just right. So it's multi-skill. It's just another element to the game that makes it really fun. I know that's not original to this game. Some other games had that. Not all of them, though, but some games had that. I much prefer that over the hot and cold zones, if I'm being honest. Now, I do not have an emotional attachment to Shea Stadium the way a lot of other people do, mainly because I'm not a Mets fan. Though I do have an attachment to it in a way. So my first Major League game was at Shea Stadium because I had a cousin who was a Mets fan, and he and my father took me. So I do have an attachment to Shea Stadium. We went against the Phillies, and I sat right behind the third base dugout. Every fun story. I was a catcher in Little League, and I really liked Mike Piazza. Every Mets game I've ever gone to, Mike Piazza was always injured every time, so I never got to see him. Um, but I would consider Shea Stadium to be probably the dullest ballpark that I've been to. I remember at the time really liking it because it was so big and so massive despite how absolutely empty it was. And I even picked up on that as I was a kid, how empty Shea Stadium was. It holds a special place in my heart because of that, but I'm not missing it at all. But again, I don't have the emotional attachment to it. I'm not like, I get it for a lot of people much older than me. Like, this is the stadium the Mets won the World Series in twice, so it has that connection. Similar to how a lot of Yankee fans, a lot of 90s Yankees fans really miss the old stadium because it was so telling of a certain time of happiness and victory, and you can understand how the um, Mets fans have that attachment, but I am not missing it in the slightest. I think Citi Field is head and shoulders way, way better. Shea Stadium was just dull to me. It was just dull. It's like there was nothing there. The bleachers in left field always seemed like they were like temporary, like something you rent for a carnival. It always looked like the stadium was constantly under construction. Do you guys get that vibe? Is there a replay in here? Okay, Manny will replay. Watch us. Oh yeah, you can do this, which is pretty cool. Let's watch you look. Like Shea Stadium to me always looked like it was under construction. It never looked completed. Like this, like it looks like it's completed, and then over here, the black always looked like tarps. I think for a while they even were tarps. It just looks like they were in the middle of renovating and they haven't finished, and they never got to finish. I think the best Shea Stadium ever looked was when they were building Citi Field and you got to see the front of it. Citi Field is a beautiful looking field from the outside. You got to see it up there. I think that's probably the best Shea Stadium has ever looked. It just always looked like it was under construction and never finished. All right, let's try to hit this home run and get this apple up. There's two more ballparks I want to visit. Oh, I finally did it. An hour later, had to start a new game. There's the apple. There we go. It's been over an hour since the last one I did. I had to start a whole new game for it. Oh my god, finally. Yeah, they did the apple instead of the fireworks. Let's see if my Piazza can do it. If not, this will be my sign off. So I actually played in the Blue Jays. This is my second favorite all-time Blue Jays jersey. My favorite one is the black one. This is my second favorite, the blue and the red. I love that Blue Jays get up, and the reason why is because I think it makes better use of the maple leaf than the one does now. Right now, it's like a little small little thing. Over there, back then, in the early 2000s, that was actually part of the main logo as a maple leaf. So I think it makes better use of the maple leaf, and also it uses baby blue as accent colors in there, which give it like that three-dimensional thing, which we see in back when '04 hits. Um, they really start utilizing grays and light blues to give like a 3D razor sharp effect. You start to see that in the early 2000s with this logo. So go back and look at these logos. They start using baby blue to kind of start pointing in that direction, which is awesome. So this is my sign off. Thank you guys very, very much. I have another game where I want to show you guys a later video. We will get there when we get there. I absolutely love this game. This is Home Run King for the Nintendo GameCube. I really, really hope that all of you guys try to track this down. Maybe go to Game Exchange or something like that, or maybe it's on eBay. Really try to find this. It really is a great time. I really think it's worth checking out. If you like this video, make sure you comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. Don't forget to share with your friends, especially those who like baseball. And until then, this is Before the Pitch, because you can love New York baseball no matter what shade of blue you're wearing, especially even if Toronto is wearing some really cool shades of blue also.